There's a plain wooden chair in Margaret's kitchen, and it's about to become the most useful thing she owns. She's 67, walks to the bakery every morning of her life, and can't get out of a soft sofa without 2 hands and a running start. So today, one exercise. No floor, no gym, no lying down. Just that chair. Here's her Tuesday. 15 minutes to the bakery, a word with the girl at the counter, 15 minutes home with the bread. Then she sits in the low, soft chair by the window, and 10 minutes later, that chair won't give her back. 2 hands on the arms, a little rock, and up she comes. The walk was lovely, but the chair? The chair fought back. Now, the rules of this table. No lectures, and none of that "what do you expect at your age" nonsense. 1 exercise today, and 5 small things that decide whether it works or just wears you out. Count along. How many of the 5 are you already getting right? And nothing here should hurt. Anything new gets a word with your doctor first. That isn't caution, that's the house rule. Step number 1 is knowing what a walk leaves out. Dorothy's out there too, towed by Biscuit, a dog who has never accepted an excuse. But watch them on the flat. The same easy step, 4,000 times over. Your own morning walk does that too, doesn't it? The road is kind. It also skips one small job, all the way there and back. Roughly speaking, a walk is a wheelbarrow rolled along a level path. Lovely work, and the wheel carries the load the whole way. Standing up out of a chair is that same barrow lifted over the doorstep. Nothing new in the barrow, only the one moment the wheel can't help. They say legs keep whatever you keep asking of them. Rolling asks one thing, lifting asks another. Try it with me right now. Only if you feel steady today. A firm chair, back against the wall. Shuffle forward to the front half of the seat, both feet flat. Now, lean in from the hips the way you lean to hear a secret, and let your legs push you tall. Arms folded if they'll allow it. That's the whole exercise. There's a second half though, and everybody throws it away. Step number 2 is that missing half. Watch Margaret land. At the last moment, the knees give up, and down she goes. Whump! Into the cushions, and the poor armchair grunts like a man carrying a wardrobe. Does your chair make that noise around 4 o'clock? Those cushions have been catching her for 30 years. They've also been doing half the work. Put it plainly, going down is the same work as coming up, only backwards. Think of the old sash window on its cord. Let it go and it slams, and one winter the frame splits. Bring it down on your hand an inch at a time, and that window outlives everybody in the house. Coming down was never the rest. It was the other half of the job. The fix costs 1 extra second. On the way down, count 3. 1. Bend at the hips. 2. Let the knees fold slowly. 3. Touch down like a full cup set on a saucer. No clatter. The cat leaves the windowsill this way every time, and never once with a whump. The next thing that decides it isn't in your legs at all. It's flat on the floor, and always has been. Step number 3 lives on the floor. There she is in the waiting room at the doctor's office, feet stretched out like a woman in a deck chair, and when her name is called, she has to rock. Once, twice, 3 times to get going. You've done that rock. Every low seat in town asks for it. Nobody mentions that where your feet sit decides it. Here's the plain truth of it. Nobody sets a ladder halfway across the yard from the wall, then wonders why the climb is murder. Pull its feet in close, and the same ladder turns easy. Your own 2 feet are that ladder's feet. Out in front, and the job is uphill from the first inch. Tucked under your knees, and the work comes to you. Same chair, different angle. Good news, the fix is free and takes 1 wiggle. Before you stand, drag your heels back under your knees, whole foot down, heel included. Do it with me where you're sitting. Feel how the floor comes closer? No rocking for a run-up. That rock is the chair telling you your feet are too far out front. The next mistake isn't in how you do it, it's in how many you do, and how you start the week. Step number 4 is where good intentions go to die. On Monday, Margaret decided she'd do 40. 40 in one sitting in front of the news. By Tuesday, she was welded to the mattress, and by Wednesday, the whole idea was officially nonsense. Sound like a Monday you've had? nothing was wrong with the exercise. The trouble was the 40. Roughly speaking, strength is stored up the way a pantry is stocked up. Nobody cans a whole winter of tomatoes on one Saturday. You'd get a hot kitchen and a sink full of jars, and come February, the shelf is still half empty. 6 jars this week, 6 the next, and the shelf fills itself while you aren't looking. The shelf was never filled in a day. It was filled on Tuesdays. So the fix is small and boring, which is why it works. 5 stands 3 times a day, not 40. 5. Hang them on something you already do. Mine live on the kettle. Water in, button down, 5 stands while it boils, done before the tea is. 15 a day, and nobody's Tuesday is ruined. 1 step left, and it's measured in inches, not in years. Step number 5 saves the whole thing. Feeling brave, Margaret tried her 5 in the deep armchair by the window, the one you go down into like a boat. She got stuck halfway, laughed, and announced that the exercise doesn't work. You've quit something for exactly that reason, haven't you? Nobody told her the seat has a height, and the height is the whole trick. Alma at number 9 has known this for years. 91. Door propped open, a hard little kitchen chair by the window on purpose. The soft one is for visitors. She gets up a dozen times a day to see who's passing. Low chairs are for people with nothing left to prove, she says, and sits back down. The higher the seat, the easier the stand. That's the bottom rung. The fix is to start higher than you think you should. A firm pillow or folded blanket on the seat, and you've made the chair kinder. Too easy? Take the pillow away next month. Still easy? The kitchen chair, and one day the low sofa. Nobody starts at the bottom of the stairs. You start where you can stand up smiling. The chair comes down to meet you. And here's the part I love best. You're already doing this a dozen times a day on autopilot. Out of the car, off the bench in the park, up from the table when the phone goes. Take 3 of those on purpose today. Arms off the armrest, breathing out on the way up. And you've had your session without setting aside a minute. The best exercise going is the one already in your day. 6 weeks on, there's Margaret in that same low chair by the window with the bread on the table beside her. The girl at the counter says something funny, and Margaret stands up to laugh at it properly. No hands, no rock. She never even noticed she'd done it. That's how you know a thing is yours. So let's lay all 5 on the kitchen table. Stand with your legs, not your arms. Come down on a count of 3, heels under your knees. 5 stands whenever the kettle boils, and begin on a seat that's kind to you. And my own 5? 3 I had right without knowing it. The other 2 I'd fluffed for 30 years, the coming down half worst of all. Whatever your number, it isn't a score. It's 5 lines on a kitchen list. A few weeks on, and it isn't a project anymore. It's simply what happens while the kettle boils. And the cat? Insufferable, naturally. She'd like it on the record that she's been getting off that windowsill without arms, without a rail, and without fuss since kittenhood. 11 years and not one running start. And here's the one thing this video stands on. After 60, getting out of a chair isn't a small indignity you put up with. It's the hinge the whole day swings on. The bus, the garden, the grandchildren's floor. You know what I've come round to thinking? We don't lose these things all at once. We hand them over politely, one soft chair at a time. And I handed over a few before I noticed. And now, the one straight-faced minute. Everything you've heard here is everyday observation, not medical advice. We talked about ordinary movement and an ordinary chair, not treatment. If you're unsteady on your feet, if something hurts, or if this is new for you, please talk to your doctor first and keep something solid within reach while you're learning. Margaret asked hers first and came home with a yes. Take good care of yourself and of the people you love. How many of the 5 were already yours? Tell me in the comments. No scores here. We've all hauled ourselves up by the armrests. Pass this to a friend who keeps losing arguments with a low sofa, and try one when the kettle's on. And subscribe, because next time we're after the 10 quiet minutes after breakfast that decide who owns the rest of your day.